Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday to everyone out there, Philadelphia, the Delaware Valley, and beyond. Mike Fuji here. Welcome to Philly Flair. Tonight is a special show of Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the month of October. Waiting for a couple other guests. I'd like to bring on my dear friend, Chris Augustine.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Chris, how
Oh,
you doing?
good.
Welcome to the show. Just waiting on Juan Nammun and Tralee Hale Ringo just to, talk about everybody's experience, with breast cancer. And I want to dive into you're still going through it. Can you touch on exactly how you got it and
Yeah.
how you detected it?
Um, Last year, September 2024, I was just taking a shower and I felt something weird. And I was like, what is that? And it was a very hard lump that I never eh, came across it before. So right away, I jumped to conclusions and I was like, oh my God, like this is going to be cancer. And then I thought, oh, I'm being ridiculous. So right away, I went to Google and I typed in hard lump and I typed like the description, the exact description, where it was located and everything like that. And it said that it's probably a cyst. And I thought, oh, wow, that's great. Because Google usually, my experience, you type in something, it usually says, oh boy, you're going to die. So I I thought, okay, no big deal. So um, I put it off going to the doctors, and I finally got my mammogram almost a month and a half later. So it was like 6 weeks later. I waited, and I got the mammogram, and the tech told me that she did see something too, but she wasn't sure. She wasn't a doctor what it was. So um, I so the doctor called me and wanted to set up um, a biopsy and an ultrasound, and that was November 12th. So we're talking a couple months later now. Um, I went and I got the biopsy. I waited like 3 days, and my husband, my daughter, who is with me right here, um, they kept saying, did you hear anything? Did you hear anything? I said, no. And I said, well, no news is good news. And I said, they're going to call me and say it's a cyst. It probably needs to be removed, or maybe just leave it and no big deal. Um, so I got the news on November, or I'm sorry, it was now we're December. No, it was November 21st. The doctor called me. I was at work and she said, do you have a second? And I said, sure. And I went into a private area
Hey,
and,
Drew. Didn't
oh,
mean to interrupt. Hey, Tralee, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you. Just sitting in standby, listening.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean for you to bring me in and interrupt her
no, it's
talking.
okay.
Hi,
Good.
Christine. How are you?
hi, good. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. Yes, we had lunch yesterday.
um, so on, so November 21st, the doctor called me and she said that she's so sorry to tell me this, but I have breast cancer. I couldn't believe it. I was in state of shock. I started like flipping out. I was like, this isn't real. And she's like, do you have any questions for me? I said, I have a billion questions. She said, okay, what are your questions? I said, I have a billion questions, but I can't think of one because I was so upset at the moment.
Hmm.
So I did ask her one question. I said, am I going to need chemo? And she said, absolutely. She said, you're young and you want to live. So I was like, oh, geez. So I went, they did a CT scan, and then I went back and they told me that it was 2.6 centimeters. And it was stage 2. So she told me all about chemo, what I was going to need, and then she started telling me about the cancer.
Right.
And the first thing she said to me was, "You have something called triple negative breast cancer." And I said, "Oh, triple negative, great, negative. That's good. That's a good word to me." And she said, "No." And then she explained what it was, and it's the most aggressive breast cancer, of course. And it's there's not a lot of immunotherapy and drugs information. They're getting more information now and research now on it. It's becoming more popular. They say it's only like 10 or 15%, I believe, of the breast cancer population that has it,
Right.
but it has to be higher because I keep meeting people that have it or had it. So the data needs to be corrected, in my opinion. So I did 12 rounds of Taxol, carbo, chemo. I also was lucky. I got a grant at the hospital. So for a cold cap, and a cold cap is it's like this hat that you put on top of your head, and it tries to it protects your follicles. So it freezes your follicles so the chemo can't reach the follicles, so your hair doesn't fall out, all fall out. Or if it does, your hair comes back pretty quickly. So there's no like guarantee that you won't lose all your hair. So all during Taxol, carbo, it was 3 months. I went every single week. I was fine, like with my hair, and I was allergic. I ended up being allergic to carbo, so the oncologist cut that out. But it was at the very end of that 3 months, so he wasn't too concerned with cutting out that drug. Then I started 4 rounds of, they call it the Red Devil, and that knocked me off my feet. That's when I lost my eyebrows, I lost my eyelashes, I lost 80% of my hair. That really, and the side effects, I was weak, I was tired. I went to the hospital 3 or 4 times. My blood pressure was extremely low. And I was also getting a drug called Keytruda, which is an immunotherapy drug with this cancer. My oncologist said that I had to take this drug. So I have to be on this drug for a year. After the Red Devil was done, I had a lumpectomy. And then I started the Exloda drug. And the only reason I'm doing the Exloda drug, it's a chemo pills, is because when the cancer was removed, when the surgeon did the lumpectomy, she said, your tumor's dead. I said, great, that's great. And she said, however, you do have 4 millimeters of residue that was left. So that's not considered a perfect response to chemo. It's a good response, but it's not like the perfect response that I was looking for. So now, currently, I'm taking the chemo pills, and I'll be taking these until December. I'll be on the immunotherapy until December, and then I have to do radiation for a month, for 30 days, 20 rounds, and then hopefully I'll be done.
Can you give me 1 second? I just want to bring Juan Nammun in, who's joining us. Hey, Juan, how you doing?
How's it going? Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I hear you perfect. Sorry for
There you
the,
go.
the mishaps of, the
No,
all the
I,
all the background stuff and.
I I appreciate your patience, and I'm sorry about
Oh, don't
you
be.
know.
I mean, welcome to Fuji's Philly Flair. I'd like to introduce you to Tralee Hale Ringo and Chris Augustine.
Miss
Everybody,
Augustine, Miss Ringo.
this is
Hello.
Juan this is Juan Nammun, head Frankfurt baseball head coach.
Thank you.
Watched his story today.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was sent. Wow.
I'm
I
honored. I'm
have
honored.
not personally met a man that has experienced
Well, this is, I
this.
guess, this is, I guess, my new mission in life is to do as much as I can to kind of change the conversation, if you will. I want to normalize it a little bit, not for any negative reason other than the more people are aware, the less guys are going to fall through the cracks, as sadly, that kind of is what happens.
Um,
So,
I
excuse me.
was just, we're just like going around just telling everybody's story. I know, if anybody has any questions out there, if you would like to,
Sure.
feel free to ask. Christine was just talking about how she came in contact, and really, Christine and Tralee have had the same type of breast cancer.
Right.
And Tralee, if you could touch on a little bit of like share what Christine was just
Yes.
talking about.
Yes, of course. We spoke just on our last podcast regarding what I had been through. But just to recap, yes, triple negative. The type that you get and you beat it or it beats you.
Correct.
Again, Christine had advised it is one of the rarest types, the rarest type, and again falls in the category one of the most aggressive. I stand corrected, having had a palpable mass that was pencil eraser size located at 10 o'clock if you're facing me on my left breast. And I just was a single mother and busy and put that off. Getting checked. And when I finally did, it ended up being thrown right on the same red devil and followed by Taxol. And while you had a lumpectomy, I had a bilateral mastectomy because everyone's fight is different. Again, I was on my deathbed with chemo in
Wow.
my veins in 2020, and I didn't have a support system. Son had just left to college to the University of Georgia. 9 days later, I was diagnosed. And so I was driving myself to and from chemo, driving myself home, and just lining up pills and preparing for it to set in. And you know what it's like.
Right.
No.
It's a fight that I would have never signed up for. I know. And that's why we're all here right now having this conversation for other people.
Wow.
Now, as far as Christine and Tralee, I mean, you both talked yesterday about. Can you share like certain similarities that you both had? As far as coming in contact with the same type of breast cancer,
Well, when we
Chris.
were speaking yesterday, Chris,
Right.
recall I had brought up about the peeling. There, personally, and you had advised that you the same symptoms. There is a type of chemo, and it peels your skin raw, and it's actually the palms of your hands and the bottoms of your feet. And so I couldn't walk on the bare floor barefoot without shoes on. I needed that comfort, and I couldn't use my hands for anything, not to open a can of soda or twist a cap.
Wow.
That's just one example.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah. There's so many side effects. There's that. I actually the one drug caused me to come down with colitis and C. diff. So I was in the hospital for that. The drugs are so powerful that they they could either save your life or kill you. And hopefully it's the person.
No.
It's
Now,
hard
why?
to.
Go, Tralee.
I was just going to back what Christina just said, that it's hard to put in words.
Mhm.
You literally can't
Right.
describe to someone else that has never experienced this what chemo is like.
Yeah.
You just can't. There's no, in our language, there's no words that can describe it. And it, again, is a fight that I would have never, ever signed up for had I known what it was going to consist of. Also, I like to use the example, I don't want for anyone, if you don't already know what it consists of, I don't want for you to find out, because then you'd be able to relate, because then you would have
Right.
had to go through it. Just take my word for it. Take our word for it. Just met Juan, who advised this is his new life mission, as it is mine. There is absolutely nothing that I've been through in my life. It's changed my entire life trajectory and of influence.
Same.
Yeah.
Juan, as far as you coming in contact with breast cancer, can you share what you like technically went through with the chemo
Yeah.
and everything?
Yeah, no, of course. I discovered a lump in my chest completely accidentally. And the first mistake that I did nothing. I kept it quiet. I chalked it up to I probably bumped into something. It may have been some kind of allergic reaction. Just I didn't think through what it could have been. I didn't say anything to my wife or my three sons. And it wasn't for approximately 6 to 8 weeks when my wife actually discovered it accidentally on me in our kitchen. She put her hand on my chest and immediately jumped back and asked, "Hey, what's going on here?" And I said, "I don't know. It's probably nothing." And within the hour, she had us on the phone with our doctor, and in less than 12 hours, I was in his office in person. And that started my journey of my world being turned upside down with a mammogram, if you could imagine, an ultrasound, and then a biopsy. Which all led to me, getting the phone call that nobody should ever get, and that you have cancer. And that led to a double mastectomy. And for a man, my wife and I, we traversed the world of breast cancer quite alone because there's not many paths ahead of us. So we were discovering things, which kind of led me to my role of being an advocate. So men have, I guess, a guiding light of what to expect, what they can do. I've teamed up with the folks at Virtua Health, and we're trying, and I think it's about to go down where, a male breast exam is going to be part of an every year exam, which takes, 10 seconds by a doctor, but that's going to be now the norm. And, that I'm kind of really proud of that.
And and the thing of it is, it's I was putting it out there today in my promo that a lot of men don't. Everybody always thinks late breast cancer's related to women, and it's not. I mean, you got 2,800 men that are diagnosed with breast cancer every year, and it's
right.
And
good. The sad reality is that number is extremely low. I completely understand in relationship to women. But that's because there's very little data. That's because there's so many men that actually go undiagnosed because they just assume it's nothing. And then sadly, when they do get around to seeing a doctor, it's significantly past any kind of treatment. In my case, I went from stage 1 to stage 3 by doing nothing. And I was really close to being past the point of being able to do anything if my wife wasn't, my rock, as she always has been. But I think that's kind of where we need to change the conversation and just normalize it a little bit, where, every time I do a speaking engagement, whether it's, a room full of guys, inevitably I'll get one or two that will just say, "Hey, I had no idea." And that's, we're making a little bit of headway, but I think, we can do more.
Well, I think breast cancer should be put out there for men, so they're aware to get mammograms, as you said before. And I
Even
mean,
self-check. I mean, even if,
right,
and the other idea is, if you feel something odd, don't ignore it. I mean, I've been coaching baseball my entire life. My sons play football.
right.
As you well know, Miss
Hmm.
Ringo, guys are tough. Football players are tough, and we want to fight through certain things. But that's kind of where we need to change the idea, if you will, is that if something doesn't feel right, we got to pick up the phone. We got to at least ask a couple questions.
Mhm.
All right. I mean, it's like, put the macho madness aside, and I know, all right,
Yeah.
some guys may not want to admit it, God forbid, but
It's a
you know,
stigma. Yeah,
right,
it's a tough stigma, and part of the male breast cancer awareness campaign that we're getting a really good footing on is we're using the blue and pink ribbon, and the
right.
American Cancer Society has been using that a lot more now, and just kind of normalizing a little bit that it's okay for men to talk about.
Tralee, as far as I know, you talked about the Jim Valvano Foundation, which you're a spokesperson for. Now, have you met and come across any men that do belong to that organization, or is it just all women, pretty much?
No, there are ambassadors that have had cancer elsewhere.
Right,
The a breast cancer advocate for the Jimmy V.
right,
And no, like I had said to Juan, that I have never talked to another male breast cancer survivor. And so I'm not sure what you were asking specifically regarding the V, but no, as far as
okay,
males with the cancer, I have not met one. And I just kind of talked to ChatGPT today to educate myself on breast cancer with men. And I was just dumbfounded that I learned that men, of course, have ducts that are underdeveloped because they're not producing milk, but men can get breast cancer in those undeveloped ducts.
Mhm.
all right,
And it does increase with your family history.
all right,
So it's up to all of us, regardless of the type of cancer. A lot of my message and advocacy work is to say it doesn't matter if you get cancer in your breast or your big toe. It's cancer,
all right,
and you don't want the fight. And early detection is absolutely key. As Juan just advised with
right.
him being so close to. And then I got diagnosed with stage 2B, which was 2.5. And then when they conducted my bilateral mastectomy and removed lymph nodes, they did find dead cancer cells in those lymph nodes. And that was basically a metastasizing of my cancer. And so I don't know how much longer, considering it's one of the most aggressive types, I don't know how much longer I would have had for it to jump to the next lymph node and the next lymph node, and then I'd be fighting a different fight, like Juan just advised.
Chris,
We
can
got
you
it just in the nick of time.
Chris, can you touch on exactly what else you've been going through since
Um,
with all the treatment and everything?
ugh, it's a roller coaster. Um, my cat is like trying to
That's
get
all
in
right.
the camera.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's all right.
She likes to be on
Take your
camera.
time.
Um, uh, it's a roller coaster. The side effects are so ridiculous. Um, every week, every day, I don't know how I'm going to feel. Um, some days I feel fantastic. And other days I can't get out of bed. Um, and I've done so much research on other things, like for instance, like food and chemicals. And so I made a change with my diet. I'm eating pretty clean, and hoping that that will help give me just strength. But it's been a roller coaster.
Right. As far as, I mean, the three, just having breast cancer itself. Can you tell if they're like, Juan, is there any, how can I, excuse me, I'm tongue tied for a second. Can you relate to like anything of like what the ladies are
Of course.
going through?
So,
Just,
my journey, I've had to rely on the information that I get from most women. If you could imagine every single appointment, and please, I really don't want anything to come off as negative. It's just to answer your question, and that every one of my appointments has been in a women's breast center, or, and it's a little isolating. It's a little, I feel a little alone sometimes. I can't tell you how many times I went to an appointment, I check in, and the lovely person behind the counter says, "Oh, nice to meet you. Is the patient with you?" And I gotta politely tell them, "No, it's me. I'm the patient." And or when I get into the back and a doctor or a nurse would say something harmless to them, and I don't begrudge anybody, but they go, "Oh my gosh, you're my first male patient," and respectfully, that just scares me because I'm somebody's guinea pig, I'm somebody's first. And these are the things I'm trying to normalize a little bit, from the medical community down to the kids that I coach and teach in the inner city. I'm trying to connect those dots from one to the other, so it feels less lonely for men, and they're willing to reach out for me. So, most of my information has come from women, and I've been blessed that my wife and I have done the research, and now we have to try and pass it on, to make things a little more comfortable for the guys coming after us.
There's a comment coming in from Norm. Hold on one second here, folks. I think Norm saying, great job on getting awareness out there, Fuji. Thank you to the ladies for walking us through your journeys. Actually,
Of course, Norm. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Actually, I did want to play a segment of what I know, Juan, you were on TV just recently, and I wanted to have one of your segments played about, you talking about your breast cancer, and
Sure.
just to shed some more light on it. Ryan, if you could roll that one segment, please.
We want to focus on pressure points.
Juan Nammun, the baseball coach at Frankfurt High School, is also a breast cancer patient.
Shock. It's hard to put in words when you hear, "I'm sorry to tell you this, there's no easy way, you have cancer." I knew very little about it. It never crossed my mind.
The 47-year-old father of three ended up having a double mastectomy.
It was the hardest thing I ever had to do, emotionally and physically.
He says months of physical therapy were torture when simple activities were painful.
Open refrigerator doors, I couldn't because they took so much muscle mass out. Steering wheel, hold an umbrella, things of that nature. So life has been a huge challenge, but I'm on my way back.
Coach is in a rare group of about 2,800 men who are diagnosed with breast cancer each year, just 1% of all cases.
I think most men are relatively unaware that they can get breast cancer.
Virtua Health breast surgeon Lori Timmerman says men like Coach Nammun need to check themselves because there are no screening guidelines.
So usually it's a change to your breast tissue, either thickening of the nipple areolar complex, a nodule in your breast tissue or in your chest area. It's something that's there and then doesn't go away.
Coach Nammun is now taking chemotherapy drugs and relieved to be back at the ballpark. Tell us your record.
I have had the distinction of being the quote-unquote winningest baseball coach in the history of Philadelphia with 8 championships.
The coach is also working on raising awareness about male breast cancer with a special baseball event to help crush cancer.
I'm so proud of all the work you're doing.
With his wife, his high school sweetheart, supporting his cancer fight. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Juan, you were, just what you're going through, and
Yeah.
I mean, just what the doctor was explaining. Can you touch a little bit on, you're cancer free now, and I mean, you still get checkups periodically?
Yeah, very much. My cancer is in remission. I'm because of the rarity. I still have to go every 3 months and get a bunch of scans done. I have to get a lot of checkups. I'm still in that window, and this is I chuckle at this because I can, and the ladies are gonna know. I'm also on tamoxifen, but the amazing thing is that as a man, I have different reactions to it, even though I have to take it for a couple more years. And again, nobody walks you through that. You just have to experience it. So the hot flashes. My wife makes fun of me sometimes. She's like, you're living in my world now. But all those side effects I do feel, fatigue, things that come with tamoxifen are a little more exaggerated on men because we're not really geared for the medicine that we're being given, or at least that is out there right now. So that's where I'm at.
Ladies, did you have any questions for Juan? I mean, just anything you could relate to the segment we just played.
I don't have any questions. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for
No.
using your voice. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for speaking out. It is completely understandable, uncomfortable. It likely is being a man in a woman's dominated breast cancer world. But you are exactly who they need to hear from.
Mm-hmm.
That is very, very, very kind of you. I'm humbled to be able to do this. For a long time, my mission was to be a father figure and a coach to a lot of young guys in the inner city, and I've loved that role. I'm proud of that work. But now, knowing what I know and how many guys I've met through this journey, it's kind of my new. I wake up in the morning hoping I can reach one person, just enlightening them in the sense that we are not. You get a cancer diagnosis, it doesn't equal a death diagnosis. We gotta take advantage of the modern medicine that's out there. We gotta take advantage of how many networks we can get a hold of. But unfortunately, guys tend to be a little stubborn. Guys tend to be a little bravado, and we don't reach out. So I'm honored that you said that, and I'm proud of the work that we're all doing together. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chris, did you have any questions for Juan?
The only question I have is how, if you don't mind, the
Ask away.
mammogram. When I watched the video today, I was like, oh wow, they do mammograms. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I got ordered to go get one, my wife and I looked at each other and we're like, how is this going to happen? And sure enough, they are really good at what they do to get what they need to get imaging wise. As challenging as that was, I needed it. And what's insane for me was that that's where my tumor was found.
Wow.
Yeah.
My thing is, the goal is here to get this message out, which we do know it's been out for years and it's been going on, but with all three of you and just see how we could just try to promote this, maybe help get it out there. Is there any ideas and all three you could think of as far as maybe promoting this, especially, it's already out there for the ladies, but for men, it's just, men are, like I said, men with the egos, men are stubborn, they just, all right, it's human nature to be scared. That could be too, but
No.
just to.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna try and continue to shout it from the mountaintop that we have to continue moving forward with the stigma and erasing that stigma. That's really all I can try and continue to do. I mean, October is a busy month for me, but I'm really hoping that it's a year-round process for me, which is why this baseball event that we do happens in April. Just to kind of pick that back up. But I'm trying to partner or reach out to as many different organizations that are willing to let me talk. So guys see another guy talking, oh, he's a baseball coach, football coach. And the more it gets out there, the more eyes are opened. And that's really the only thing I can keep trying to do is just every chance, when the phone rings and it's a news station, yes, I'll be there. I'll get on the phone. That's why tonight I didn't mind canceling something else to sit in the car with you, because this means the world to me to just have some time to talk about it.
Right. Now, Juan, is there any breast cancer for men organizations out there at all?
Yeah, there are a couple that have reached out to me ever since I've been on TV a little bit, and they've helped out with. There's actually like a men's breast cancer coalition that we're trying to get some information out there on. But the American Cancer Society does a great job of now allowing me to continue to speak. So there's a lot of avenues that people can explore where there's information out there.
Okay. Ladies, Tralee, I mean, do you know of any breast cancer for men organizations at all? Just
I do not. I do want to throw out there that the Jimmy V Foundation, 100% of all donations,
right.
Again, I will repeat, 100% of your dollar goes to cancer research. And they have donated over $400 million towards this dynamic, game-changing research.
Great.
Personally believe that because of that, my life was saved. And
That's amazing.
that is the message that I will personally scream from the mountaintop, is that I believe that I mean, and we had triple negative. That's the most recent of breast cancer to surface within the last just over 20 years, I believe, and don't quote me. It's the newest type of breast cancer, and there's the least amount of information on it, and it's not really specific regarding the type of breast cancer that I had. But yeah, I did want to throw out there that the Jimmy V Foundation absolutely researches and is coming up with game-changing chemo and treatments and saving lives. And so I believe that that they contributed to your success as well.
Kudos, that's amazing.
Like, Chris, did you? Good. I mean, I keep interrupting you.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm
No,
sorry.
you're
I
right.
was just gonna say, and Christine is currently you're mid-fight, right?
Yeah.
You're just a powerhouse. You are just so strong and
you.
so beautiful. And yesterday when I met you, I was so impressed with your vulnerability and willingness to speak. And you told me that your daughter was going to be here present today. Hello, beautiful, and thank you for being her support system, because I understand what it means.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine you were telling me about you went through it alone. It really brought, like, tears to my eyes, because I don't know what I would have done. Like, my husband went to every single chemo treatment with me. My daughter texts me, calls me every day. How you doing? How you feeling? My friends are fabulous. They same thing. They're always asking me, how you doing? It's just that support system is so important. I couldn't imagine doing it. Like, you are so strong to do it by yourself.
Totally.
I can't. I can't
Oh,
even
really.
imagine.
Thank you. This cancer will test your patience. It will test your endurance. It will,
Yes.
and you. And I like to say and use the example. I literally had only heard this quote, but never could directly relate to it until
well,
chemo and cancer. You don't know how strong you are
Mm,
until being strong is the only option you have.
mhm.
When nobody can take any weight off of your shoulders, nobody can process this chemo for you. It's
well,
on you.
Mhm.
well, Tralee, like when, we met a couple times and talked, a few weeks ago when I had you on the first time, like you said to Chris and I yesterday about, you had to take yourself to your own appointments and you didn't have anybody. Just
Do you
like
want to play some of that emotion? You played that video yesterday, and I don't mind you playing it. If you touch,
I
it's
don't
up to
know.
you. You don't have.
I don't know if I still.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. No worries. But go ahead and continue. You're right. It was.
Yeah,
There
but
was a
like
lot. There were a lot of tears.
like you just, who else could you depend on? You didn't have anybody, and you just, it's like amazing how strong you are just to overcome what you've gone through, in the
Thank
last
you.
couple of years, and just
Cancer doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
It's not going to let you choose the timing.
Yep.
And
right.
so, like I said, I just got my son out the door to college, and 9 days later,
Wow.
received my diagnosis. And yes, correct. I was living in Phoenix, and the rest of my family is in Washington State. And I did begin my. It was
Right.
just what I had to do. That's all I
There's a,
can say. I just had to push through.
You ladies are so strong.
there's actually a question coming in from Cole County Entertainment. Is there a hereditary component in any of your cases?
None with me.
Excellent question. Not me.
No.
I
Do
was
not have the
negative.
BRCA gene. Do not have the BRCA gene. And that is kind of significant for the type of breast cancer Christine and I had, being triple negative.
Right.
It's my understanding that that's one that is less diagnosed due to it running in your family, but it can. But no, to answer your question, no. No cancer in my family. And I want to add that my not having cancer running in my family, my not being 40 years old yet,
Mhm.
and just, everybody has thought to themselves, what's going to happen to me?
right.
And I believed it. I thought wrong.
Yeah.
As far as Tralee and Chris, the triple negative, it's a very rare occurrence to get that type of cancer, correct?
It's I think it's like we were talking yesterday. It's usually there's three people, I guess you'd say, or they get it. It's normally either you have the BRCA gene, either you're African American, or you're under 40. And I'm none of those three, and I got it. And this type of cancer doesn't run in my cancer runs in my family a lot, actually, but not this type of cancer.
Juan, how about yourself? What type of breast cancer would you say?
My whole genetics came back negative.
Okay.
My cancer is believed to have come from a carcinogen, an outside source.
Mhm.
That's a whole nother show idea for you down the road, I think.
Okay. Well, I know we're last couple minutes here. I just, like I said, just getting the word out.
Mhm.
It's just men and women, and like I said, it's been out there for years. But wanted to just touch these last minute or so. If anybody
Really appreciate it.
would like that, anything like
I would
like
love to have both of these individuals back on. I'm beginning my platform, exposing breast cancer on Instagram, and it's going to end up on YouTube and beyond. But my goal is to expose the uncomfortable truths
Yes.
people aren't willing to talk about. While we're sitting here talking about those uncomfortable truths, most of us aren't willing to come clean about it. And I like to say that if I have to,
right.
so I was going to say, if I have to make you laugh or make you cry or scare you into your breast health, I'm willing to do that.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. I apologize. You could count on me. You'll get my contact info. You let me know when and where. I'm all
Absolutely.
in. I will speak to a room. I will speak to a room full of men, look them in the eye, and tell them, "We got to stop, fellas. We can't. We got to be." I have a mission to reach as many guys as possible. And I'll talk to women. That's been a great night where I've been invited by women's groups. But I will go anywhere you need me to. Mike has my contact info. Just say the word. Anytime for either of you, just let me know.
Right. I mean, something I would, I'm sure Chris would definitely like to get involved, and I know I would, just to get the word
I'm
out
in.
there, and
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
I'm in.
it's
I'm in.
rare occurrences with, especially, and like I said, it's out there for the ladies, but the men gotta hey, don't hesitate, step up.
We've partnered with the Phillies, and Temple Fox Chase now is going to be a part of our event in April. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to, the Sixers, the Eagles, all of them, I'm trying to push them to continue to grow this conversation.
Well, on this platform, it's the floor is always open to come on here, and
I'm grateful.
put the word out there.
We are
anytime.
grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
It's just, I mean, this has been in the works in the last couple of weeks. I know Tralee and I talked about it. I talked to Chris, Chris and I are friends, and Juan, I wanted to get in touch with you. Like I said, you were on Fox Good Day last week, and I know Mike Sherman, my dear friend who you work with for the last few years, and just wanted to get this all together, and here we are, and appreciate everybody taking their time out to come on.
I'll go to any lengths. I was just on a game show on Monday for breast cancer survivors, and I was the only man on the show, and I'm like, let's go. I'm here.
Right.
Let's spread the word. And everybody was like, whoa, and that I'll do it all.
Which game show was it?
Let's make a deal. No, let's make a deal with Wayne Brady. Yeah.
Really?
It just aired on Monday for breast cancer survivors episode.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not embarrassed. I will do whatever it takes to talk about it.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Well,
Excellent. That's exactly what it takes.
Yeah.
If I had somebody, if I knew of you or me, I feel that this information is not out there. And the information that it sounds like we're all willing to go against the grain and communicate is exactly what people need. If I heard this information, I wouldn't be in the position to advocate because I would have listened.
right.
Yeah. I'm grateful
And
to be here with all of you.
And I know Kaylee, and I know the breast cancer in the NFL is very big. How they put it out there and promote, the players wearing
The pink.
pink and all that.
So I'm trying to get them to spritz a little blue on there, just a smidge,
Well,
just a smidge to make it normal.
Well, doesn't Major League Baseball honor Breast Cancer Month in the month of May? Because I know a lot of them.
They do some. Yeah, they do some stuff in season early on, which is why we're partnering with them in April. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Because I remember last year a lot of the players would use the pink bats, and I don't know about pink cleats, but they would have pink.
No, they do.
Right.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Wasn't the baby blue color for the men, or that hasn't
sometimes they do it. No, they do it for Father's Day to honor fathers and stuff like that. Yeah.
I know it was something along
Yeah.
those lines.
But thank you
All
so
right.
much. I appreciate it. Thank you, ladies. God bless. Keep pushing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Juan. Nice to meet you. Talk to you soon.
Did you
Take care.
did either of you ladies have anything you wanted to add before we
No.
take off here?
Good. Nice to see you again, Christine.
Nice to see you too.
Talk to you soon, woman. We've
Yes.
we've got work to
We
do.
do. Yes, we do.
Tralee, can you put out your contact info or your
Yes.
social media platforms
you.
where you're at?
I am
Great.
Mama Ringo on Instagram, and then I'm also exposing breast cancer. And it's a black and white picture, but I'm building that following, and again going to be speaking with individuals just like yourselves, as well as caregivers, as well as psychiatrists, and there are so many resources that are just not available or
Right.
easily readily available. So that's the plan.
Mama Ringo.
As far
Got it.
yeah,
Got it.
Mama Ringo, MAMA, and then Ringo, RINGO,
We
and of
will
course,
be connecting.
go Birds.
Number
Go
7.
Birds.
Yeah.
Go Birds.
Why?
Thank you all.
Why? Can you also put out your
Yeah,
or you can be reached at social
Juan
media?
Nammun on Instagram, Juan Nammun, and J Nammun 24 on X. I do my best to spread the word. I from the ground up, and I'm pushing as I'm best as I can right now. So
Right.
we're gonna keep fighting.
Well, I would, definitely like to maybe start some type of group chat we could all keep in contact with, and maybe get this thing, get this ball rolling, and let's all dive in and get involved.
It's good.
Let's go.
Please send out that group text. And I wanted to also say thank you for even choosing to do another breast cancer show, let alone the first one.
Thank you.
It
Thank
takes people like yourself that I'm always surprised when I meet individuals who have not experienced the treatment and are this committed. It's impressive. I don't know where it came from, but I'm thankful.
Well, like I said, this platform's always open, as far as, wanting to come on and talk, further it, just put it out there, whatnot. But Chris, Tralee, Juan, I want to thank everybody for coming on. I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Thank you.
If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out, because this is a message that has to be laid out and just put out there totally. The word just has to get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has to be the raw version.
Right.
Because because what I had said yesterday, so much of it is pink. I run around in a pink tutu and pink boxing gloves and so strong.
Yeah.
The fight to get there is not what you want to know about.
Well, what you have is pretty raw, besides, the pink gloves and all that. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it.
Mm.
And it should be sugarcoated for what you both of you ladies have gone through. And I mean, God bless you both. I don't know how you do it, but hey, you're strong-willed and God's carrying you right, giving you the will to carry on. God bless you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, everybody have a good night. I want to say thank everybody for tuning in. If anybody's out there, share this out, pass it along about women's breast cancer, men's breast cancer, which, does have to be put out there. But thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good week. Reach out to somebody you haven't talked to. You never know what somebody's going through. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in to Philly Flair. God bless, and go Birds.
Go Birds. Woo!
Yeah. Philly streets got a story to tell. Golden sun breaks the Liberty Bell. From the Trattoria to the stoop outside, feel good vibes in the city's pride.
Fuji's Philly Flair, oh, it's everywhere. Good news flying like hands in the
with a twist, so rare. Fuji's Philly flair.